the FMS FCX24, a Dodge Power Wagon without the Dodge branding. It's a 2-speed transmission, and while it sports an outrunner, it's apparently waterproof, which I find quite impressive, to be honest. So we've done a few 1/24th and 1/18 scale builds on the channel recently, and the FCX24 is an example of one of those cars that is just very complete out of the box. 2-speed transmission. This is a brushless version. It really is ready to go. I'm going to talk a little bit about this car, which we're going to call Doug, because this is their Dodge ripoff, I guess. Some of FMS's cars are licensed models. This certainly doesn't appear to be, although they're using the Power Wagon name. Certainly we've got Doug here instead of Dodge. I've attached the stickers because I just thought a car called Doug is hilarious. This is not the first FCX24 I've had on the channel, and the layout underneath is the same as what we're familiar with. So just really quickly, we've got plastic axles, plastic drive shafts, plastic skid, portal axles with metal gears, metal gear transmission, 2-speed transmission, fully waterproof. But what makes this little car so special, this is the first Power Wagon I've had. Now I've got to remember this, you press them on the inside and expand them on the outside. It's a bit of a trick, that one. There's your body. We've got a little tiny 1212 brushless motor. Now it's not censored, this little thing. 3200 kV. It's a FlySky manufactured module, this thing. It's FMS branded. It's a 10 amp ESC, which is ample for this little thing. It's got a 5 volt 1 amp BEC on it as well, or just lights for the cab, which you can double up and expand if you want, and it runs on the FlySky BS series of radios. Now this is a decent little radio, 4 AAAs. This is ostensibly a 3-channel receiver, and you do have your 2-speed transmission, but you also have light control, so there's a 4th channel there, and you also have some ESC mode switching that the manual doesn't even tell you about, it just refers to it as mode switching. We shall get to that. Now, in the past, I've looked at these cars, and I like that the servos out of the box for the FCX24 range are very strong. I really am a fan of that. I've got 2 wonderings about this car, being that it's, even with the Louisiana license plates that you can choose from, this is based on the Power Wagon mud truck events that are known in Louisiana. We have a motor, an outrunner here, they generally don't play well with mud. They've got an open, I don't know if you can really see it here, but they've got an open kind of rear. You can see, this is the rotor, you can see the stator inside. You can see the copper coil windings inside. You get mud in this and you're going to get a grindy motor in no time. We're still going to run it in mud today because it is a mud truck, even though there are not the Chevron kind of tractor tires that I think also should be on this car. It says they're the Mud Pro X, and look, in real life these would be mud tires, no doubt about it. You could even cut off some more lugs if you really want to get some pedal action going. But I would really want to see Chevron tires on this. Now FMS sent this to me. It's a sponsored video, this one. I didn't pay for this, they've sent it to me. They asked me if I'd like to review 1 or 2 of their cars, and they sent me a bunch of them. So we're starting with the Power Wagon because although the features across the FMS range are really, really good and quite similar, I suppose, I think if this car is the most simple. There is no interior. There is a tray, but it's got some shapes. It's like the moldings. You don't even need that box, actually. It's just what they've done. But it's look, it's just a basic machine. Like all the FCX24s, it comes with the 380 milliamp hour battery. The 18 range comes now with the 900 milliamp hour, but 380 is plenty. Now this is 2S. This system runs 2S and 3S, believe it or not. So that's partly thanks to the 3200 kV motor here. And this thing's 10 amp overhead, which means it says 40 amp burst, so this thing will run 3S just fine. We're just going to run it on 2S because today it's just a stock run out of the box. Okay, so the radio, you've got a small limited range for reverse, a larger range for forward. It's the version 6, and as I've gotten these over the years, the numbers have been climbing. As always, the wheel and spring feel on these radios is really nice. Again, it's FlySky made, and I quite like the BS range of radios. You not only have steering and throttle dual rate and steering and throttle trim and reverse, but if you double press bind, these now control the 3 and 4 channel dual rate and trim. So that's really clever. That's 2 presses within 1 second. Now these become channel 3 and channel 4. So I quite like that. Bind is a simple case of holding that down and turning it on. Calibration is doing that. So full right, full acceleration, and then turning it on. So there's your stick and turning calibration. It's a simple radio. And then you've got dip switches for LiPo or nickel metal hydride. And then drag brake reverse settings. It's currently on full drag brake. There's no drag brake. 50. Power switch is under here. It's waterproofed. There's less drag brake here. So if I pop them all up, turn it off, turn it on. Yeah, epic amount of drag brake. That's really impressive. I'm going to keep them all up. So crawling all up, and then trail driving, those two down. Let's go with that. These servos are known to be quite strong. Watch this. Back wheels are off the ground. Now this is quite loose, but the servos on these cars, just don't hesitate. Stainless links where you want them, and on the bottom, they're plastic, so it's a 3-link up the top. These are effectively a 3-link suspension, so it's a pivot point in the top there. Right, let's put this body on. This came detached. It's meant to be stuck down, but not a big deal. And the smaller of these goes in like so. It says it's waterproof throughout. These famously don't like mud. Let's see what happens there. All right, so we've got lights not on. Press this button. Oh, you got to hold it down for a while, then the lights turn on. And I believe these are the only lights on the system. That's fine. I want to get this cabling out of the way. It's supposed to be stuck down to the hood there. There we go. Try that again. There. All right, there we go. Okay, ready to rock. Now, again, it takes 3. Wow, it takes 3S. We're just going to run 2S. All right, we're in second. Being that this is a mud truck in name. Oh, by the way, the transmission's really nice, right? We're in first, and there is a neutral there. There we go. That's full speed in first. I like that. I just wish we had those Chevron tires that say, hey, I'm a mud truck. These tires have foams in them. They're bead-locked wheels, plastic, but still fine. The one upgrade that is common to most of the FMS cars is to add some brass underneath. You can go nuts with it. I wouldn't recommend going nuts. Have a look at my recent FCX18 Land Cruiser video for what too much looks like. But if you keep it subtle, let's say just heavy wheels, which is okay on these little cars, or something just on the axles, you'll still get something that can handle itself okay without being over the top. Didn't have the speed to correct itself there. Certainly does in second. But yeah, without some mass on it, those tires are going to struggle. Nice thing about the Outrunners is you get beautiful low speed control. So we're still moving forward here. It's not censored, but this is the way that Outrunners work. There will be a path up here if we're patient. And maybe a little lucky. I'd be curious to see this thing on 3S actually. Here we go. Sometimes wheel speed's the answer. Sometimes it really isn't. Let's just try it in second. I acknowledge second isn't maybe wise, but the nice thing about this Outrunner is we're in second right now and it still has the torque. Without cogging, it will cog at some point, but it has the torque right now. Even, again, second gear here, we can still crawl in second and it'll be all right. Now, if you're really going to mud these things heavily, consider the brush motor. All right, we've hit our cogging limit. So we're just going to see if wheel speed can help us. This will be it for crawling. Sometimes wheel speed just helps. And momentum, of course. Popping back in first, maybe we'll see how far we get up this hill. It may not be terribly far. It sounds like there's a lot going on. Oh, there you go, we've got as high as possible. That's not bad. Right, let's do what we're all here for, which is to see it do a bit of wet running. I want to see what happens with water. Run this in second for long and you'll toast the battery in no time flat. It's actually fairly well thought out though, this little car. I'm a fan. Oh, here we go. Found some appropriate terrain. I'm still in second. I do like these brushless motors because they give you range that the brush motors just don't have, and the torque is there. I'm not even going in mud, I'm going in clean water, and the car is meant to be waterproof. But outrunners, while they'll run, once they get gunk in them, they don't like to run. So this isn't the cleanest water, but it's also not filthy mud. But let's get it completely under. So she's still running in the wet, right? But once you start stirring up mud and stuff, you're gonna get in trouble. But while we've got reception, the thing's happy. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Oh look, I found a challenge. There you go, look at that, look at that. Oh. I'm in second again. Yeah, you go, look at that. These FMS servos are really good. And I never am worried about shifting. Look at that. Now, outrunners do not like getting silt in them, which is what we're stirring up here. This is a mud truck, and get it in mud and you're going to be in trouble. Look, we're completely under, the thing's floating. And we've just, oh, there we go. There's water now in the electronics. So don't submarine this. I'm actually trying to run it right now and she's not running. There's power, but IPX4 does not mean you can submarine it. What we might do is cut the power real quick. With the power cut, once this dries out, it very likely will work again. Okay, so this is the last thing I wanted to demonstrate, and I'm happy to risk this so that you don't have to risk yours. Radio's on. Stinky car is on. We've got control again. It froze up after being in the water. I'm just going to show you what to do with this. Given that it's a mud truck, after you run it, if it gets wet to the point where it just doesn't run anymore, which is what we just saw on camera just now, here's how I would suggest you go about addressing that at short notice. We're just going to pop this off. This is going to look counterproductive, but water all through that brushless motor, right? I'm trying to make a point, so we'll power him back up. These things don't like getting wet, but they're famously resilient to being wet. All electronics like this, actually. There will be water inside the machine now, but we've got control. What we might do is throw a bit more water through that motor. I basically just want to get all the silt out of it. We weren't in heavy mud then. Ah, okay, so it's the motor that doesn't like being wet. Interesting. And once you clear some water out, she's happy. Learn something every day. So it could be that the electronics themselves are fine. It's just this style of motor doesn't like being wet. Don't know. Anyway, we run water through it, and the next step is we're going to air it out. Poor old Doug's not really looking factory fresh, but I mean, he's not far off it now. Oh, I didn't mention oil-filled thumb screw adjustable shocks, by the way. I really like these little shocks. We have full function first. Oh, that's first. Second. Still got full steering and light control. One thing I noticed also is that this whole cabin is just pressed in. It's got two little clips. You can pop that cabin out if you don't want any windscreen glass and windows and whatnot. Right, so outrunners don't like being submerged. I think I've just learnt that as well. The ESC receiver all-in-one thing is waterproof, which I would expect from FlySky. They're very good. But yeah, you get this thing wet, rinse it out with clean water, and then just blow it with an air compressor if you have one. If you don't, shake it out, pull it apart as much as you can and just let it dry. But look, there's not a lot of high speed. That's the fastest things are going to run, right? In a higher speed car with bearings, because there are ball bearings in here, as opposed to certain other brands, these can seize up over time. Replacement ball bearings are cheap. They really want to have a bit of oil in them, ideally after you dry them out. But look, they're not high speed, high performance things. They're just lightweight, do it all, surprisingly capable for what you get. I quite like it. Thanks to FMS for sending it to me. Check the description for a link on where to get one. And also my thanks to the channel members who are the Scratch Build guys. Here they are. They also throw me a few bucks each month. Thank you so much, guys. 3 tiers, find them down below to support the channel. And I think that's everything. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you got something out of it. Yes, the FCX24 is not a new thing, but being a brushless 1212 system, that's new to me at least. And I'm really glad that I got to have a look at it. I haven't got the idea of a power wagon before, but I think with the right tires and even more power, maybe 3S, which is again supported out of the box, we might have an interesting little motor. Just be ready to clean out that brushless motor, because brushed really is what you want for mud. And think of them as disposable, because it's not particularly great for the planet, but if you're going to mud a truck, motors are going to burn out. It's just a fact of life. Light mudding duties, add some weight, better crawling, and we know it's a proven platform. I like it. There you go. Thank you, FMS. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll catch you next time on RC-TNT.